I guess we're live on YouTube already. Okay, great. So welcome to all the YouTube viewers, and let's start. I'll close the message, the chat here, because I wouldn't see it. As you can see, it's blocking part of the screen. So if you can keep all your questions to the end, I will try my best to answer all of them, right? So if you don't disturb the webinar, we'll finish it in 30 minutes. And then we'll have about 30 minutes for Q&A. So you can ask your questions, right? So hold them. If it's a question in a specific chart, we'll come back to it. No problem, right? So, and I want to start today with, as usual, I try to do something besides just telling you my views on the charts and, you know, where I think what is going to go. I like to make it a little more educational than that so people can learn things. And I share my experience as well. So one of the things I said last week was that if you have a $200 or $100, you should probably not consider Forex. Because Forex is a business. I don't think a lot of people really get this. It's a business, and a business that is very, very high risk. So let's say you have a sum of money and you are thinking of what business you should do, right? And you want to choose the business you're more educated in, the business you have a love for, and the business you think you have the capital to manage. If you have $100 and you think Forex is the business you want to do, like I warned people last week, it's not going to work out for you, right? Because I mean, it's not me saying it. There are enough proof of that. You can go to any one of the brokers' site that publish those stuff, and you can see that 90% and more of people with small account lose their account eventually. Somebody quote one person who started with $5 and made it $1 million, and I find it funny. I don't know if it's true. I can't say it's not true now, but I find that very funny because, you know, that's the kind of thing brokers will want to sell to you. That, hey, you will all be millionaire with $100. Just open a $100 account and you'll be millionaire. Nobody say you cannot make any money. Like one guy said, well, if I have $1,000, I could make $500 in a year. And I was like, well, if that's the ambition, if that's your ambition, being a trader, that you can make $500 in a year, go get a job. You will make $500 in a month if you have a good job in in a good country. Depends where you're living. You can make $500 a month. You can, if you get a job, you may get a couple $1,000s a month, depending where you get the job. So when your ambition is to be a trader, is not to make $500 a year. That should not be it, because it's one of the highest risk business you're in. And I know everybody has dreams, and everybody like, I have dreams. Maybe I want a yacht and a Ferrari and a plane of my own, right? Just maybe. But I'm also a realist. I don't have the money for it, so I'm not going to go around and demanding that I get those stuff, right? I know I cannot afford to build a building, right? I don't have the capital to be an investor and go buy a building or build a building. There are a lot of things you have dreams about, but you have to be realistic about your dreams, right? If you want the education part of this, keep studying. I'm not saying you should stop studying. I'm not saying you should stop learning, right? And I've already explained to people, there was one guy who did take my course specifically for that purpose. He wrote me and he said he's a university student and he wants to get this knowledge because he's going to work for a firm that does trading, big company. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. Great, go ahead, do it. He did it, and he did get a job with a company in London, a very big firm. They're a big trading company. And he did come back and did a webinar for the group, and then he left. He's not active in the group because he's already working somewhere, and definitely be conflict of interest for him to share his ideas with us. Right? But that is something foreseeable. That's something you can do. But the dream of, if you have $100, you're going to be a millionaire. You're likely going to lose your $100 rather than be a millionaire. The odds are against you. That's just a warning to people who have that, right? Because that nonsense is being sold in the internet that, yeah, everybody can be Forex trader and you could be rich and you'll suddenly be one very rich person, right? You will become millionaire if you trade Forex. Brokers like to peddle that. They love that idea because you're donating your $100 to them, basically, right? It's not possible. Not it's impossible totally. Maybe 1 in a million can do it, but if you think you're the 1 in the million, then great. You shouldn't even be in my webinar if you're one of the million who have that talent to do it. Right? If you think you're one of the million who can do it, you shouldn't be listening to this webinar. That's the thing. If you're listening to this webinar, I mean, you are struggling to trade. You're learning to trade. You're not one in a million who can do it. So that warning was for people who are listening to this webinar, because I know those who listen by were people who are looking for knowledge, right? Who doesn't have that super, thing that they can take $100 and make it $1 million. That's the whole point. So I don't know what was the argument going on in the chat and on YouTube, but one guy came up with this thing that I shouldn't kill people's dreams. Not dreams, it's realistic. Yeah, you want the Ferrari, you have $100. Somebody tell you, hey, it's not going to happen. Will you say they kill your dreams? Go try buying it then. So let's move on. Dollar index. As we said last week, it's in consolidation, and it did come down. Now, I don't think this one is totally going to go back up because we haven't tagged the low here yet. And there are two lows we are going to be looking at for the pattern we're looking at. So let me just bring up the bigger chart to see. One of the lows we're looking at is this one for a bigger pattern. And the second low is this one, is just for a simple 1, 2, 3 wave structure. Now, they don't have to tag the lows, but you always have to be aware when the low is not tagged, that they can come back, tag it, and then go. So let's go back to the 1 hour. If you're going to buy into this, you have to make sure, well, there's a very small flag here, not quite a great flag. A flag like this would be a better one. See that? That's a perfect one to trade it. They do have small ones that go, but then you eventually get a bigger one here. So I think you probably, if you're going to trade this, you got to be very, very careful, or you wait for a bigger correction, bigger flag, and then go for the trade, right? If you do get a bigger one, because there's a very good chance that it could make one more down and then go up. So if you're going to be buying this, you got to buy it with very much caution. There isn't the sell setup as yet on it, but the sell setup could form very fast. Euro has a very similar structure. And same thing here, you will have to watch this stop, and you will have to watch this stop, and it hasn't tagged any of the two tops. So you got to be careful, right? Because we don't know what the pattern would be eventually in the bigger one. We're waiting to see what that pattern will be. But if it makes the small pattern fall, then you can look for sell in the break here. You can also look for sell anywhere you get a flag there. Actually, if you're an aggressive trader, there was a sell setup somewhere here in the break. If you're not in that, don't worry with it, because that might just be a break-even trade. Watch this for possible one more up again, right? Same thing here. It might go to tag that top. If you're going to look for a sell setup, you should probably wait for this to make a flag like that. And then you will get the sell, right? That would be a good sell setup. Pong, very, very similar structure, but Pong is a little different. And that if you look at it, you've got this sharp wave. And remember what I said to you sometime earlier. If you got that sharp wave and they break the low, watch for another sharp wave to come, right? So another one up there, and that is likely a pattern that is complete. So I would not be surprised if this continues to go. This could continue. This doesn't have to go up, right? Because there is a pattern that is completed. Now, that doesn't mean it will not go up, but like I'm saying, this is one complete pattern on a lower degree. If they're going to go up, then we will watch them to make something like this, which is come back here, make something like this, and then go down. I doubt they will tag the top. We're going to anticipate more downside. So on a 1 hour, if you're looking for a trade, you don't have a trade set up as yet. You'll have to wait for them to make a flag here. You can see the flags, basically. Once they make a flag like that, you'll get a trade set up. Because if you jump into this, you're likely going to see the reversal. So wait for the setup, get in the trade. If there is a setup, just watch it. We'll wait until you get one before you trade. Aussie broke very nicely. Now, two things you've got to watch. Remember this one, you would have only got it there. If you bought anywhere here, I hope you manage that to break even. Two things you've got to watch. A possibility of this being an expanding flat and we go back up. Watch this stop when they get there. Let me show you that pattern. 4 hour. Watch this stop here when they come there. This could be also all the correction. And they're going down. So I'll wait for a good flag here and then sell. We would probably look at this as a smaller pattern like that. There's a possibility for a bigger one, but we look for a smaller pattern. Do we think this is going to turn to the upside right now? I don't think so, but there's a good chance, like I said. If this starts to go, right, first you'll watch this, and then you'll watch them to come back all the way to the trend line. That is a possibility that exists. Go back to the 1 hour now and see what trade setup we have. This was a trade setup for those of you who knew that pattern, right? That was a trade setup. If you're not in that, don't jump in anything. You'll have to have a confirmation, get something like this, then go. If you don't, they reverse, wait for a flag and buy, right? There isn't anything else you can do here. You shouldn't be selling or buying at this point because it's not very clear. It doesn't have a clear direction, especially when they're in corrections. And I think this is where a lot of traders make mistakes, right? You learn to you understand the concept of flags, but you don't understand the concept of patterns. Not all flags you should buy or sell, because if they are in consolidation, a flag that you are trading in a consolidation may only go 10 pips and turn the opposite direction. When they're in a trending mode and you get a flag, that's good. You can take it because that will just continue to go. So traders make a lot of mistake with those, especially when they're in consolidation. New Zealand, this was a good trade. If you saw it, it's going down a little more than I expected. I thought New Zealand would be turning already to the upside, right? We are still expecting them to go up one more because I don't see where New Zealand, they will have to have one to this, right? Now we will be looking for a running flat. So I don't think they'll tag the top anymore. But, you know, even if they keep dropping a little like this, don't worry. At some point, you'll get a sharp move and then down. So if you're selling here if you're selling at these low levels with these small flags, remember that wasn't the sell setup, but this was a good sell setup. So if you're selling in this level, every time you break the low, you want to move your stops. Move your stops very, very tight because you don't know which one will be the turning point. That's something you'll have to understand, because if you're expecting that up move, it will still come. Right? Here's a good example. Remember what I told you? When you get that sharp move, even if we break the low, they will have to make a move up back. Right? It's pretty much the same thing, except it's a bigger one in the New Zealand than this. This was a small one. This is a much bigger one. Yen. So this is the question in yen, because some people ask me that question. And let me go through back all the options that I gave you in the yen. Yen is in an uptrend, right? The trend is going up. Let's go to the daily. I'll do this very fast for those of you. Those of you who have an idea of this wave analysis will get it very fast. If you don't understand what I'm saying, don't worry. You have a number of options. One, you can stick around and learn. Eventually, you will get it in a year or so, or you can take the course in September and within a week or so, you will get it, right? So there is an option for this to be 1, 2, 3, and we come back to the low here. That is one option. This will still go up, right? The uptrend will still continue. The question is, when will this consolidation finish? The second option is we are already up, right? Because this was the smaller consolidation in there. 1, 2, 3. Why that varies? Because there's a possibility of one pattern here. Let me just show you one small flat, or there's a possibility of a bigger flat. And both would be correct. Both of those are possible flats, depending on how you look at the chart, right? So if you understand that concept, like I said, it's not as easy as you might think, right? There are things that we show you. If you look at this piece here, remember I showed you that piece with that 3-wave pattern where they made this flat. See that? Let me bring it back and show you. They never broke out and they start to fall. That's a contracting flat, we call it, right? But if you come here, the similar things we were looking at here, but they broke. Now, breaking it does not mean it can't come down. We can look at this as 1, 2, 3. Watch this here now. 2 options. They come back here and then go up, or they go all the way to the low. That is for the downside, those 2 options for the downside. Or one option is they just continue to go, break this top. And if they break that top, you're guaranteed to go up. The only thing you'll have to have is one like this, and then you go up. That would complete this pattern. Now, if that is complicated for you, you need to take the course. If that is not complicated for you, you're learning very fast. But you still need to know a lot more as to how to identify and recognize those patterns. So let's go back to this. Every time something is in development, there are a number of options depending on what it's doing at any one point in time. Right? So remember I said you would trade this up back to the line and then you would move your stop. Because from there they can fall or they can break it. Well, they broke the top. Now, what you're going to do is if you're in that trade, you probably want to get out and then look for a new entry or move your stops again. Because this could break the top. And if they break the top, that means we'll be looking for a running or an expanding, most likely a running flat. We'll not get an expanding flat, most likely. So it will still have to make the C wave impulse to the downside before it goes, right? Just a matter of, will it break the top or are they going to fall from here? And if they fall from here, I think very likely they can fall from there, because if you look at it in the 15 minutes, not something I like to do, you can see that it's going up very, very slow. And at some point, I think you could see a sudden fall in this. So you got to be prepared for a sell setup now. Watch that trade. It should give you a very good sell setup if they break, because they will go to retag one of the two lows, and that's a good trade. Any one of them will be very good. CAD, I told you it's going to fall. It has to, right? So the question with the CAD now is this. Have we got an equivalent of this? Remember I said this has to have an equivalent. Right? No matter what, they have to come back to give you an equivalent of that, because they just cannot keep going up without, even though it's doing this and even though it did that, they have to give this. Now you can say you have a pattern. So the question is that the pattern? Is CAD going to go back up one more? Or will it continue to come down? Right? If it's going to continue to come down, at some point you'll have to make a very big correction. Right? I think there's a likely chance we'll go tag the top again, because it's very much similar in move. So on the 1 hour, what you're going to look for is if you're going to get any buy setup here. You can probably see this. You got a 1 down, you got something like that up, and you got another 1 down. And that, or even if you take this as part of a pattern in here, contracting flat, that ends the move. This is a sharp move down. You can work your way back there and then fall. Right? That possibility exists. So go on the 1 hour, check, see if there's a buy setup. You don't have any buy setup. If it's going to drop, sell. Anytime it drops, sell. Because the sell is always going to be a good idea. But if you're going to buy, wait for a flag. Wait for this to make a flag here, and then you get a buy, wait for a flag, buy. It's probably going to be very slow until they break the top, and then they're going to fall. They still have to come down on the daily. So let's go to the daily. The daily will still have to come down, because then you have to make this pattern. Right, this one. So if this is matching this one, then great. We can go up from there one more, come back. Or if they keep insisting in coming down, they will come to this level and then up, because this would be the end of the pattern. Right? That will confirm up move one more. Right? So let's go back to the 4 hour and the 1 hour. And since it's all in consolidation for X running flat, you have to be careful which running flat you'll have now. So you can get either a sell setup or you can get a buy. You just need to wait for the setup and choose whatever the setup is, take the trade. That's it. Because if it's a buy setup, they'll retest the top. If it's a sell, they're going to go much lower. Right? I notice a lot of chat. If you guys want to hold it for a while, that'll be okay. Right? So if you're getting it, great. If you're not, that means you still need to learn a lot more. Let's go. Swiss, 4 hour. I think we're heading for some upside. They didn't break the low. Same thing like the thing, right? They didn't break this low. So they could either go without breaking the low, which would mean you're looking at some kind of a contracting flat in the middle there, or they might come break this low and then go back up. So let's see which one we're going to have. 4 hour. And 1 hour, right? You're still in consolidation. For the sell, I think actually if they break this, you can go for the sell. If they break out and make a small curve, very small consolidation there, you can go for the sell. For the buy, you would definitely have to wait for a huge flag here before you get it. So if they go mostly sideways, you look for I think you have a good example here. See, you don't have to go far. That would be a buy setup. Until then, you don't have a buy setup. Don't try to buy it like this when it's going up. You're going. You know what's the most common thing I got traders right? Hey, I just clicked the trade and they turn against me. I think the brokers are actually going against me. Well, when you click your trade of 1 mini lot, 1 standard lot, or 1 micro lot, There are people actually clicking trades of hundreds of standards of lots. So, the broker can move against those people with hundreds of standard lot so that they can, take away your one mini lot, right? That's not possible. So it's not that you were clicking the trade at the wrong place. And that is why it goes against you. You're looking at this thing going up and you click buy and then you watch it fall. Because you're not waiting for the setups. You don't have a strategy. You don't know how to read the chart. You're just looking at the candles and chasing them all over the place. And well, they get you most of the time. Silver broke the low. So now we can patiently wait for the buy setup. Remember I said they will come down and break the low. This is the pattern we're looking at, right? They kind of repeat what happened here slowly, but then they went back up. You've got a next one, and we're looking at this whole thing here as a pattern. So we want that wave up. Now, is there a chance that this could come and break this low? Slightly. There is a very slight chance that that is possible. I'm not, I wouldn't be looking for a sell, even if they'd go break the low, because you don't have much to get there. But if they're going to go up, you have a very good trade to the upside because they're going to come to break this top. See that blue line? That's the top they'll go to break. So if you wait until you get a buy setup patiently, it will pay off. You'll have a very good trade. They made an attempt here. It didn't go very well. Wait for another attempt. Wait for that. This could drop a little more, but wait for the attempt to the upside. That's the better trade. And this one as well. See, they drop slowly. They went back there, drop again. They could continue to go down a little more. I think they can, continue to go a little more here. But you're going to get a very fast move out of a structure like that. And I do think they will tag this low. So let's put that in the 4-hour daily. Let's see. They don't have to. They don't have to tag the low. They could tag it, but they don't have to tag the low. And then you're going to look for this trade up. Back to the top. So watch for that trade. You can see it's dying out right now. You can see it in the 1-hour. It's not going anywhere. There's a lot of divergence as well as a sign that it might help you. So wait for that impulse. I think this one could break the low here first. Wait for it to drop, break the low, then wait for the impulse, the correction, and go with the trade. Euro-Oz is in a very weird pattern here. They will likely go up again somewhere, but you don't want to trade in here to the upside, right? See that? So they might, kind of go again here. But these patterns, most of the time, they eventually break down. Most times. 1 in 10 will probably break out of it. And you wouldn't know that which one is going to break until it breaks out, pull back, and then you can buy. Because if it breaks out, pull back, then we would look for, we look for more upside. And right now, anything is possible. But I don't think they're going to go very much to the upside. I don't think they'll retest the top. They can go here. We're expecting at least one more down before we go retest any top, right? Something like this. And then we can go back up. So go to the 4-hour. There's a good sign that can come down, go to the 1-hour. They can go up somewhere. They're not going anywhere. See, these are the 1-hour candles. They're not going anywhere. It's going very slow. So you can just ignore that until it starts taking off, pull back, and then you can buy into it. EuroCAD likely is going to go up some more here. You can see that possibility. Watch for that trade. That trade is already ready to go. When it goes, it breaks the top. It comes back to this level, put it to break even. You would want to see whether they're going to break out, because if they break out, they'll retest the top. If they don't break out, they can probably still come down. Right? So if they decide to go up at the top there and then come down, it will be a break-even trade for you. Right? So keep your eyes on that one. You were in New Zealand. This one broke out already. This was a small flag. I think everybody saw that. That broke. It's gone. You got to wait for another flag. You can't jump into the trade. Euro Chief. Okay, this doesn't have nothing here. They broke this, but that doesn't mean anything. Breaking that is just a sign of, you're still in the consolidation. Let's put this. It's still pretty much in the consolidation. So wait. If you want any buy setup, let's see if you can get any buy setup here. You have to wait for a 1-hour consolidation. If they do consolidate here for an hour and decide to go, Well, not for an hour. I mean a 1 hour flag consolidation. I should have, sorry with that. If they make a 1 hour consolidation here, then you can go for a trade to the upside. As to the downside, you can see you don't have anything. That would be a 4 hour consolidation before you get it. That's like till the end of the week. Euro yen broke out also from that top. You can see it, and it looks like they're already making consolidation here. So if you get this consolidation, you can look for one more trade down. I think Euro yen does have a possibility of going down because look at the bigger picture. It's kind of like you have this move. You got one, you got two. I wasn't expecting them to go back up there because they broke here, but they broke and they didn't give you a trade. They went back. There's a likelihood you can come back here and maybe even go below. So keep your eyes on that. You might get a sell on it. A sell might be ready there. Euro pound broke out again. We're going to break out to the top. I think we showed this pattern a lot. This one, and they broke out exactly as we expect them to do. I think they will break out of this structure first, and then we'll start to look for the downside. So what I'm expecting them to do is I'm expecting them to come up here, break out of this structure, and we might get one more down. That is this one, right? Very likely we're going to be looking at all of this as a consolidation. So once it breaks out of that pattern slightly, you start paying very good attention for the downside. So I don't think it's an up move as yet. I don't think it's a big up move we were expecting. There is a big up move coming, but I don't think this is it. Is there a trade here? I don't like to trade when they go like that, but if you want to take the trade, you should be in already in the breakout, and it will probably break this top, take profit. It's going to go higher, but every time they break, they pull back, they break, they pull back. So they'll probably break the top, pull back, go again, pull back before the fall comes. Vamos, same here. 4 hour. We're expecting this to go down. They did break out, and once they break out and they start doing this, you got to be careful, right? Because the possibility is this will come back and break the top, just like the yen was looking, right? So you remember the yen one? They'll break the top before they go down. There is a chance they don't break the top and go. So keep your eyes on this one. But I think they'll break the top. See this piece here already? It's going to come here and then go back up. You'll get this flat. So don't try to sell that. If you try to sell that, you get yourself in trouble. Wait, and then look for this. This will probably break out. You might get a buy setup very soon. First, this has to drop down some, and then you'll get a buy setup. Pound New Zealand. This one went up more than I expected. I thought they would just stay at the low and drop, right? I thought they'd stay right here and drop, but it's going up more. Remember this one, when it was going up, we were saying they have to come down. So now the question is this enough of a pattern? That could be a contracting flat. 1, 2, 3. I hate to look at it as a contracting flat for now, but it could be. We can only confirm the contracting flat when they break the top. That's when you confirm a contracting flat. But because this has moved so much up already, there's a good chance that we will have to accept that as a contracting flat. But there is no good buy setup here. Actually, there isn't any. This was a running flat. You probably wouldn't want to buy it here. So you have to wait until they get a flag back like this. And then you can look for a buy setup. Only if you get a flag like that, that would be a good buy setup. So until you get that, you just have to watch it go. Pound Swiss. I think this one is going to go down more. Or there's a possibility that we'll look at this as they're running flat there, and this will continue to come down. This is the only one that is coming down. This was a perfect one. Make that correction, and it started to drop. It broke the low. So if we're going to go back up, if this is going to go back up, there is no need for it. This is not one sharp move, right? So there's no need for it to go back up. But if it is going to go back up, we'll wait until they break this stop before you do anything. Break these stops as they're going to. So right now, you're actually looking for more upside. We're actually looking for much more upside here. Let's go to the Pong Yen. Pong Yen broke out, but it didn't go anywhere. So let's see what we have here. You got to be. This is not a sharp move, so I don't think they're looking to come back down, right? It's looked like they will have to come test this stop, which is with this sharp move. So look for this consolidation upside. Wait for the consolidation before you go. Right? Punkad is going down. So the pound trades are giving you very mixed information. If silver will go up, why I say gold will make a low? Because that's what the structure said. Who says that silver and gold has to go in the same direction? Have you ever looked at the silver gold chart? That's the thing about trading. You got to be careful. If you don't just make assumptions. Watch for the pattern. There's a silver gold chart. Take a look at it. You'll see that they go in opposite directions sometimes. They don't have to go in the same directions. And the goal to make a new low is not a far way for it to go to make a new low before it turns. So watch it again. You'll see that. Punkad's still going down. I think this was the one you should watch because we were expecting this to go down. And the reason why I'm telling you about the New Zealand could probably go down to is because the New Zealand also made a deep correction, right? But it could still go. You see the deep correction they make here before they go. So this is just going to probably continue to go down more. On the big picture, it could go quite a lot. See that? On the big picture, we can expect a much deeper downside here. Right, so keep your eyes on it. I don't think this whole thing is the end of it because there's a good chance you'll be looking at this, something like this, and we might make one more up. Let it come down. We're going to see if that makes the pattern we're looking at, and then we'll probably get one more up. Right, before the whole correction is finished. So go back to the 1 hour. Let's see if we have a trade setup. I think, it's not clear. It's not quite a clear trade setup. So it might be a running flat. So be careful. See this, they're going to go back up and then come down. Because you have a sharp move here and you don't have anything to match it. So you're looking for a running flat here, take that off, and then the downside. So if you're selling this already, if you're in the sell, just move it to break even. Don't take it off. Because running flats tend to go very far too. Aussie CAD going down, but no sign of sell setup, no flags, nothing that you can trade in. You see, you don't have any flags there, nothing here to sell. Wait for it to make a correction, you can start selling. Right? It needs to make that correction before you start selling. And there's a big downside. Silver spike down. You mean it fall? Let me see what is your silver spike you're looking for. Or an Aussie CAD will come back. Really? It spiked down? There's the spike. You're probably in the 1 minute chart, right? You know what's a spike down? Let me show you what a spike down looks like. Actually, it's a fall. You spike it up. Right, that's it. That's a spike. You're looking at a normal candle and a normal chart. So don't get too excited. Every time you're in a 1 minute chart and you see something that looks big, go back to the daily chart. It wouldn't look that big to you anymore. Candles like that is all over the place. Look at this one. See this? See what happened to it? The same could happen to this in a minute. See what happened to this one? Don't chase candles. Look at the patterns. Look at the bigger patterns. Right? Okay, if you guys keep your questions, though, don't disturb the webinar until we finish faster. If you keep going back to them, it will just take a longer time. Aussie CAD. Wait for any correction and sell. Aussie yen. You might get some sell setups here too, right? You can see that. There's a very nice pattern there, actually. See it? So any flag you get here in the 1 hour is a sell to this level and then likely to break up. Go back to the 1 hour, no flag is yet. Wait for one, sell. You'll get one. They'll make one. They normally make a flag, something. You see they made a nice one here, something like that. This would be one sellable too. So wait for a little flag there and then look for the sell. Anywhere downwards. If they make a flag, you can take this up. Aussie Chief, you're already supposed to be in this one, right? This one you should be in here. Anywhere in here, you see this pattern, they break out. Put that to break even now and wait because we don't know what this is going to do. Right? We don't know what that is going to do, so you got to wait on that. Just put it to break even and leave it. There is no sell setup there now. You got to wait for another sell setup. If it continues to go down, you have to wait for another sell setup. Aussie, New Zealand. Let's go to 4 hour daily. Okay, just leave this alone. Don't try to trade it now because of this pattern that they're in, they might just go there and come back down, right? I don't think they're going to go very much up because we need more downside in it than the weekly, right? In the weekly, after they've done this, like the A, this would probably be the B part. They're going to come back here for the C, right? Kind of like this one here. See? One down, one down. So we're in this structure here now. I don't think they're going to go very far. And you don't have a sell set up. So the best thing is to stay out of it for now. New Zealandian, New Zealandian fell. It's going down a little more, and it's likely going to crawl down some more, but be careful of any big sells you have. Take short sells, take profit. So 4 hour last week, it was breaking out. If you took the buy, that's a break-even trade. And the 1 hour, they actually, you saw it not going, so you should be aware of it. Once you see them do this and they started to do that, that means you can see they're going to fall. It's going to break the low. They're not going to go very far. I think we're going to get more upside again. Just watch for a sharp spike flag, buy again. If you got the sell, move your stops, and when they break the bottom, move your stops tighter because at any point it could turn. Every time they break the low, there's a turning opportunity for a turn to come up. New Zealand Swiss, this was a sell. I think this was easy. This wasn't the hard one. I don't really look much at this. You might get more sell in it, let's see, daily. Oh yeah, you're gonna get a lot more sell in that coming down. Let's see where it could go to. Well, they broke this low, so you've got this pattern in play. You will have to go back up. So if you're in the sell, be careful. They will go back up. So if you're in the sell now, you just got to move your stops, right? If you're in the sell in that, move your stops because they're going to go back up. New Zealand cat, same here. This one, we're looking for a flag, and I still can't see a flag on the 1 hour. This is the daily. It's going to go break that low on the 4 hour and on the 1 hour. The first flag I think you got was this one. The first sellable flag you got was that one there. So if you're in that sell, you can put it to break even and leave it. There isn't anything. It just kept coming down slow with no possibility for sell setups. Canadian. So here we are. We broke. Let's see in the daily. Canadian could go up some more, definitely. So let's go back to the 1 hour. Wait for them to make I think there was a buy set up on the Canadian lower, but if you're not, nobody should be. I don't know if you guys are in that. Wait for this. You don't have anything here, so wait for it to make a 4 hour or a 1 hour consolidation to confirm more upside. If it's going to return to the low, they're going to go back to retest that low. There is no reason for them to do that, but if they're going to go, you'll have to wait until you get a flag like that, right? Then come here, make a flag like that, and then sell. I think you can get a consolidation at the top there for upside. It's likely it's going to consolidate for upside because there's a complete pattern. There's no reason to go down anymore. Swiss yen, let's see what Swiss yen is doing. This one can go down some more. This has a good chance of coming back to this low at least. So you can look for a sell. Even if they're going to go up, there's a likely chance they're going to come back here and then go. The bigger picture is downside. Let's see in the 4 hour if that pattern. The pattern is not completed, right? So look for a flag here, and then sell. If they give you the flag as low as this, that would be a break-even trade. So hopefully you get a flag earlier, right, before you get the sell. If everybody keep your questions to the end, we will be able to answer them, right? Keep your questions to the end. We'll answer them, right? Let's go. Cat Swiss, stay out of this. It's breaking. You might get a trade set up to the upside. We're expecting it to come back and retest this stop and probably all the way to this stop. So you got to wait for that, right? There is no trade right now on it, not even on the 1 hour. Yeah, there is no trade there. You had some trade setups here earlier. If you're in a trade, you just move it, stop, and keep it. Copper. Let's see what we have here, 4 hour. No correction. This is a very small correction. We want the deeper correction. If you're going to go up, you want the deeper. If you go down, you want the deeper correction. And so you probably start looking for buy opportunities. The buy would either be a correction or it will be an impulse to retest the top because you have this big pattern. See that? They will either go retest the top or they will make a correction. So you look for buy opportunity. It's either going to be a correction like this to go down or it's actually going to be that. So look for the buy opportunities. Ignore the sells. US oil. Still kind of going up, right? Once we tag that low, we're still going. Well, we broke the top now, so this is where you have to be careful, right? Did exactly what we wanted it to do. Completed that pattern. Remember when it was going up, we said you look for that sharp one down. You got it. They're going up now, so this pattern is completed. We're going up, but we just broke the top. So at that point, the question is, can we expect them to go down from there? Let's see if we have a down pattern coming. A down pattern coming. Not necessarily. It could happen, but not necessarily because there's no reason for them to. There's a big pattern in play right now that could make it more upside. Let's see in the 1 hour if you have anything. Nothing much. They did make a 1, 2, 3 here. See, 1, 2, 3. That gives you this pattern. So I think there's a likelihood you're going to go at least a little more there and then see if you get any sell. For buy setups, you've got to wait for flags. You don't have any. There were some nice flags earlier. You see those? Got some nice flag, but you don't have anything now. So wait for more flags for buys. If they start to sell, let them make a sharp impulse down first. You don't have that. UK oil is very similar, same here, right? You got to be careful with this downside. And it might be short term and then start the upside. Let's see if this broke the top. No, this haven't broke. This one is not broken the top, so it could probably go break the top, then come down. So be careful if you get the sell setup. Natural gas. You can start to look for sells, right? You've got this one up already. Wait for any flag, sell. Any flag you get now, sell. We're looking for this trade down, right? Make sure you get a flag before you sell. Probably even a 4-hour correction, not just a flag, because this from here as it stands right now could go right back up. Look at this pattern. It is. So is that the start of the downside, or is that 1, 2, 3 for upside? Well, the upside is easy. You'll buy above that, the break of the top there. But the downside, you have to have the confirmation before you sell. S&P 500 downside, right? If you're getting a consolidation here, sell it. I'd wait for the consolidation because if you don't have the consolidation, they can still do one more up there and then come down. It's going to come down. The question is it coming down now? Let's see in the 4-hour. I don't like the way this is coming down. It's coming down very, very, very slow. I would probably allow this to consolidate either in the break of that low or let it give me a flag. Wait for a flag on this one before you sell. I'd wait for a flag on that one before you sell because if not, they can stop right here, do this, and then go back there, break the top, and then come down. This is not going down very aggressively. It's going down very slow. So wait for that confirmation flag before you sell. The down move is definitely going to happen. DAX is the same thing. We're going down. You're getting consolidation, probably more downside. Look for the more downside. I don't think this has to go up anymore. No, this doesn't. You got a sharp move. You got this. This could come back, retest the low. So more sells, more consolidation, more sells. Nifty drop, but it's not going aggressively. So if they continue to do like this, we're going to retest that top, right? You want when they do this, they start dropping. And if they're not dropping, then they're consolidating. You're still in the consolidation for more up. DJI looks like it's going to go down, so you can watch it. Wait for this to consolidate here, and it's going to go down one more. Retest this low. Watch this low level here, right? And then look for this up. And once they come to that low, we're going to go back up. Let's see what else we have here. Let's do Bitcoin. Too much if you get it there. So Bitcoin eventually, like I said, it's either going to break the low or don't break the low, but it's going to go up, right? It doesn't matter what it's going to do. Well, they break the low and go up. When they break the low and go up, you're not expecting them to go too far. I don't think they will retest the top because we're not looking for an expansion. We're an expanding flat. We're looking for running flat. You got a perfect buy setup in the making, right? You could have gotten this one. If you didn't, then you got a perfect buy setup there. That's a perfect trade setup. I just wait for it to break and you got a trade. Same here, you're getting a setup already in the making. Wait for the breakout because, you know, it could crawl its way back down here and then make that. Also going to go up. See that? It's going to go up. So just wait for the trade. And what else we have? I think that's about it. Let's make this webinar short. Let me see. What is it? HK33. And USD. Okay, we were not going to do so many of them. Oh, yep. Johan, I'll remind everybody about that just now. So, Johan, you want to post the link out? Once keep the link ready to post, I'll just remind everybody about it and then we'll go, right? 1 second, let me just make this here. And HK33. Okay, I still think they're going to make a move up. Watch it, they're going to make a move up because this one, we still have to complete this one, right? So they're going to make a move up somewhere here and then go down. It doesn't have to be from here. They can even go lower. But I think you might get a move up here and then you'll get this pattern for downside, right? So watch it. If you're in the sell, you may want to move your stops on that one. So, okay, guys, we'll call it the day on that one. And I think a reminder to all of you, some of you a lot of nice messages came for Johan, who is fighting cancer right now. And he's also promoting a link for he's opened a site where you can donate to cancer research, right? He's donating the money to cancer research, and that is to help future people. It's not going to help him right now, but it's going to help people in the future, right? Hopefully he will battle this and win it. I'm pretty sure about that. He has all our support, and he has an entire group behind him to support, and he has all his family and his friends, so he's going to battle and win. But he wants to help those people in the future, right? He wants to help people in the future. So if you can donate anything, it doesn't matter what sum, $5, $10, anything you can afford. If you can afford, please make a donation there. You have the links. Click make a donation. It's going to help. It's going to a good cause. So if you can afford to, no, I don't normally promote things, you know that, but I think this is a good cause. And Johan is a very good trader for ours. I told you a story last week, and he's doing amazing. It makes me always remember we have to really, really treasure the time we have and make good value of the time you have. Basically, stay with your family. Do all the good things, do all the things you want to do now because you don't know what tomorrow will hold. I know Johan will survive this. He's going to battle it, but there is a battle going on, right? So, okay, guys, everybody, thank you for coming. All of you have a very good week. I wish you a very good trading week. And I will see all of you tomorrow. I'll see my traders. I'll see all of you next week. See my traders tomorrow, right? Take care, trade with care, and stay healthy, right? I will see all of you next week. Thanks for coming. Please help share this. Any more questions, by the way, I can take some questions. Do you have any info on wave analysis based on the Robert Prechter method? Okay, the method is not Robert Prechter's method. He just rewrite the book. The method is Elliott's method. It's called Elliott wave theory, right? So, but Ralph Nelson Elliott, right? So it's not that's not their method. They just rewrote it. No, but what Elliott did is that he actually gave this a very, very, very good idea of how we should look at wave patterns, how to label them, and all of that. But like I've said many times, that's not the complete story. There is more to it, right? There is a lot that Elliott did not complete it because of what he was doing, the time he was doing it, the instruments he had available to them. Remember, we have computers now. He was drawing it with his hands. So there were mistakes, and there are not mistakes, but there are things that he didn't see. There were things and that's when you take my course, those are the things you get catch up on. One of the things we do in my course is we actually show you how to identify a single wave, right? We show you how to identify a single wave. Nobody anywhere shows you how to do that. Now, if anybody anywhere is going to show you how to do that using our method, they stole it from us, right? And since none of my top traders are giving any course anywhere, none of the very good traders that are still in the group with me, any one of the guys selling any of that stuff out there, you can know they're not one of the best in it. But your choice. There are people who have took courses for $500 from people who call themselves, you know, all kind of stuff, and then end up back in my group having to pay for my course. So you say, you know, if you try to be too wise, you pay twice. I'm not going to call name. We're not calling name. You should know. It's a choice. You make your choice. People, you see something selling for $200-$300, you're going to get $200-$300 value. That's the whole point. Right? It's a choice. Everybody has to make a choice. You think that guy, that person will be good enough to train you? Great, go ahead. I'm just warning you that there are a lot of bogus people out there. I know a lot of people, especially trainers, don't like when I say this. They say, but you're in the same group with us. I said, no, I'm not. Right? I actually had an argument with one of them. No, I am not doing the same thing you are doing. So don't put me in your category. Right? I'm not doing that. You have never stopped somebody from taking your course. I have stopped hundreds of people from taking my course because I don't think it will benefit them in the long run because they don't have capital to trade or because they don't have the experience to take it as yet. There are many reasons why I've told people you can't take my courses yet, right? Very few trainers out there do that, if any does it at all. They were like, you can come take the course. Sure, I'll make you a super millionaire and then go borrow money and take it if you don't have money. I don't do those stuff. So I'm not in that category with them. And I can say that there are a lot of bogus people out there. You will have to do your own homework, right? So all of you have a good week, and I'll see you next week, right? Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.